Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another bang on episode. Oh my god, when will I stop saying that? But okay, let's just talk about the news that we have for you guys. Interesting to say, Ivan Toney has spoken something about Arsenal. Big update about Hosam Awar. Yes, it's an official update about Hosam Awar. January move for Hosam Awar. And of course, Mikel Arteta looks like he has decided on his new number one and for a very long time. It's a big battle, and finally, I think we have an answer for Ramsdale versus Leno. Who is as Arteta going to be dependent on? Moving on, let's talk about some things related to Ivan Toney. Toney recently, I don't know, he was in an interview or something. He says about Arsenal. He says, I don't know whether it was they weren't so good or we were just excited because it was our first game and it was Arsenal and it was the Premier League. I just didn't see them how they used to be. You used to look at Arsenal and think they're going to win this game. I know, Tony, but I'm pretty much sure I think we might be the one to relegate Brentford, bro. Strong possibilities of that. Moving on, so according to Sammy Mockbell, Arsenal are contemplating selling Bernd Leno next summer with Aaron Ramsdale set to keep his place in the team. Now, Bernd Leno is actually facing a very uncertain future at Arsenal, and Arteta was glowing in his praise of Ramsdale after the victory. He said a lot of words, but Sportmail understands that Arsenal signed Ramsdale in the expectations that he would be the number one by the end of the season, a scenario that would probably prompt offers for Leno next year. That situation appears to have transpired far more quickly than predicted, but nevertheless, it now looks like the plan will be implemented as Arsenal look to prevent Leno from leaving for nothing in 2023 when his deal expires. So this idea is actually to fetch good amount of money for Bernd Leno, because this is the message that Arsenal are sending into the transfer market to every other team, of course even to Inter Milan, that Leno is available if you want. You know, it's actually kind of a good message. But here's the thing, I'm pretty much sure that Mikel Arteta needs to stamp his authority, because you know what, if he stands back and thinks, you know what, I've gathered some players, I've signed 6 players in this window, if I don't use them now and if I don't get the results, fans are already waiting to turn on me. So instead of that, let's get the results with the way I want Arsenal to play with. The way I want Arsenal to play. Let me do that. Let me use my players and get the results. That's all that matters. And I'm pretty much sure that's exactly what we are also looking forward to. But moving on, so it looks like Ben White completed 3 key passes against Norwich alone, more than David Luiz managed in the whole of Premier League last season. He managed 2 key passes. He really brings on something special, is the man himself. That's really crazy. Things you love to see. Things you just love to see. By the way, Takehiro Tomiyasu already has more Premier League minutes for Arsenal than 62 minutes than Junichi Inamoto, Park Chu-young, Ryo Miyachi and Takuma Asano. They combined have played 25 minutes for Arsenal in the top division. Well, he actually had more than double minutes in just a single game. Take could have finished more minutes, but you know, the cramps don't help you when they really want to make you stop. They really ruin a lot of things. Moving on, Feyenoord manager Arne Slot says Nelson had participated in almost all training sessions at Arsenal, but he experiences the training here as a bit more intense. He suffered an overuse injury, so he's not there. Whether he will be fit for PSV game remains to be seen. So that is the reality, ladies and gentlemen, because Nelson could be set to miss Feyenoord's Conference League clash with Maccabi Haifa and the top flight duel with PSV. So those are the things that need to be seen as well. So Reiss Nelson, ladies and gentlemen, is injured, and I'm pretty much shocked to see that Feyenoord's training sessions are more intense than Arsenal's. I'm not gonna bring a club down by just saying some random shit about that club, but that's really great to hear that Feyenoord really have an intense training session compared to Arsenal. That's pretty darn crazy. Moving on, so Hector Bellerin on his debut for Real Betis versus Granada. I tell you what, I love the kit. It is, yeah, that kit is peng. I hope I'm using the slang correctly. That's really peng. But Hector Bellerin on his debut, 81% passing accuracy. 2 key passes, 2 out of 3 long balls completed, 3 out of 4 ground duels won, 1 out of 1 aerial duels won. Hector Bellerin can win aerial duels as well? Wow. Maybe it was the league that needed to be changed. Crazy. Crazy. Certain things just are crazy to contemplate on. Moving on, Folarin Balogun's brother Royce has an explanation as to where his brother is at the moment. He says, the system just doesn't work at the moment. You can't blame just the player, it's the system. If you look at that striker problem in terms of chances created, it's not just Folarin. When Martinelli and Aubameyang were playing there, the system did not work. Soon it will work and he will have to be ready when it does. You have to support him and tell him to keep going. Of course we support him. We consider him as a future. Why would we actually turn on against him, man? I mean, I have no agenda against Folarin Balogun at all. I consider him as one of us, and he needs to be protected, and that's the whole reason why I wanted him to sign a new contract in the first place. But Sammy Mokbel has confirmed about his opinion that Ramsdale is now expected to keep his place in the team. I'm pretty much sure that is the truth as well. William Saliba sharing a cake. If you can see, it's all the clubs that he's actually played with, and Arsenal on top of it, and then there's an image of William Saliba. That's the beauty. That is the beauty of William Saliba, sharing that. I mean, of course, he wants to play for Arsenal, and I'm pretty much sure he feels that way as well. So for now, he's been given the instructions, go to a very good club like Marseille, perform, and come back. And of course, things are going to be your way. Simple as that. Moving on, so talking about more stuff, Dermot Gallagher reckons Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's first goal of the season could have been ruled as offside. Now he actually questions and answers that question himself. Gallagher, he says that regarding whether Aubameyang was offside, this was a really interesting incident because I thought Aubameyang was offside. Aubameyang starts in an offside position, but when the ball hits the post and comes back, it strikes Pepe and goes to him. And at that point, he's returned behind the ball, so he is onside. So he says that he's lucky. Yeah, whatever. Moving on, Arsenal's failure to sell Alex Lacazette is reported to have been the reason why they could not sign Tammy Abraham, confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. He says that in his Here We Go podcast, Arsenal were really pushing. They were trying in every possible way. So Arsenal were really convinced that they had a chance to sign Tammy, but in the football, it's not easy to change the mind of the players. Moving on, Mark Overmars has reportedly is interested and is actually open to coming to either Barcelona or Arsenal. Well, he spoke to Mundo Deportivo. He says at a certain point, the thing is simple. Either I continue or I stay here in Ajax, or we go abroad again as a family. I've let the train pass 6 times. He was then asked whether he would go to Barcelona or Arsenal. He says they are both interesting. I'm pretty much sure they were very much interesting, but at Arsenal, there's not much financial crisis with Barcelona. There are lots of things in Barcelona that needs to be addressed. Well, Lucas Torreira has turned his heads with his performances during his debut for Fiorentina. Well, he played for 66 minutes in the 2-1 win against Atalanta, and he really had a good outing, as what we know. Danny Mills and Simon Lee Jordan reckon Mikel Arteta could be set for the chop at Arsenal in the near future. He says that I think he's walking the plank. I like him, I like the way he comes across, I like his humility, I like his work ethic, but ultimately it doesn't take you far. You have to produce a winning side with what you have got, and he has got some good players. It's not like he has got a full squad full of duds. He has got some really talented boys in there. Also, Perry Groves reckons Mikel Arteta deserves praise for his decisive action on substitutions during Arsenal's win against Norwich. He says he needed to make substitutions and he brought on Partey and Emile Smith-Rowe, but he left on Odegaard. He took off Sambi. He wanted as many attacking players as possible. I'll give Arteta a little bit of credit. Lovely. Crazy stuff as we speak. But moving on, let's talk about the one, the only, Houssem Aouar. So what do we know about Houssem Aouar? Well, he's already made his opinion felt about the January move away from Lyon. So Houssem Aouar, according to Todo Fichajes, Aouar will not exit Lyon mid-season with the France international to see out the season in Ligue 1 despite interest from Arsenal. It will not happen during the winter either, with the midfielder now set to remain at least until the end of the 2021-2022 campaign. It's pretty much clear if you want to get him, if any club wants to buy Hossam Aouar before that, I am pretty much sure that there's only one way to do that, is to pay. And why would you want to pay for someone who's actually free after 6 months? Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's see what the situation arises. Even though he was available for a cheap price, not even a single Premier League club came to buy him. So, we move. With this, I'd like to end this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you see daily Arsenal content, best place to be, consider subscribing. Cheers.